Well, I made it at least through the first 3 weeks of my final school year. Um, Felt kind of strange this year, to be honest with you. First week or so, I was kind of helping out a couple of new teachers a little bit. To be honest with you, they're really well prepared and they didn't need a lot of help. So I was kind of just floating around a little bit. But recently in my school district, we had an elementary teacher resign so she could start her own business, which meant that we kind of had an open spot that I was able to fill. So currently, for the last 2 weeks, I've been teaching third grade social studies slash writing, which I enjoy the subject. Man, I tell you, the going back to school this year has definitely been a little more than of a challenge than I thought it would be. To be honest with you, I feel just mentally drained at this point, even though it hasn't been unusually difficult or anything like that. It's just mentally, it's been taxing, even though it's been a little less than a month. And I think it's me. I think it's just the fact that, at this point in my life, I've kind of had all summer off to think about, retiring early and develop a bit of a plan and a vision for the future, immediate future, things I want to be doing. And once I got my heart set on doing those things, when you got to go back to the same job you've been doing, it just we'll say my heart isn't into it like it used to be. Well, I would like to say that my heart is in it like it always has been, but honestly, it's not. Normally, after summer break or toward the end of a summer break in between school years, I'm really looking forward to getting back into the swing of things, getting back into the routine, getting a new class of students. But this year, I didn't feel the same. I don't know. I don't know if it was just the fact that I'm entering into my last year, or the fact that when I started the school year, I didn't really have a definitive group or class that I was going into, so I didn't really have the anticipation factor. And not only my heart, but I don't think my head was in it fully as well. Not having a clear idea of what I was going to be doing, and it's entirely my fault. I'm not trying to say, poor pitiful me or anything like that, but um, I just did not have my head wrapped around what I was going to be doing. And the mental side of work cannot be underestimated, man. The first 3 weeks this year, it hasn't been particularly difficult or hard or anything like that, but mentally, my mind is just erased. At the end of each school day, I just don't feel like there's much left in the tank. I hope it doesn't appear that way to people on the outside, but internally, I'm definitely struggling a little bit. I did my student teaching a little over 30 years ago in a third grade classroom and had 35 students. And this year, back into third grade for the first time since then. And I've been teaching middle school and junior high predominantly, and I I wasn't prepared for early third grade, level of instruction. Um, I think I'm kind of coming around to it, but I'm not there yet. So we'll see how this plays out. Right now, at least on the surface, my plan was to retire halfway through the year, and then, ride off into the sunset. But with the third grade teacher that I'm currently replacing resigning, that kind of put our district in a bit of an awkward spot. And um, I don't know if it's been official, but they have asked me to stick around for the whole school year. And I would say on the surface, I wouldn't mind doing that because in terms of finances, it would definitely be beneficial to me. Not only would I make more money by simply, carrying out the whole school year, but it would also boost my retirement income about 5%. Now, it's created a little bit of an issue for me internally because since I started making videos, and even before that, I've had it in my mind that, this can't be, and it's not about, just the bottom line in terms of dollars. Um, but at the same time, it is a factor. If you can make more money in retirement, um, maybe it's not a bad thing. Although I could say that for successive years as well. If I continue to work as a teacher for another year, 2 years, 3 years, my pension would just keep going up and up and up. And while tempting, it's not something that I'm interested in. Is it possible that I'll finish out this school year? It is possible. And I would base that mostly on the fact that the third grade class I have this year is a really good group of kids. Small group of kids. I think we only have right around 70 or so kids in the entire third grade, and that's split amongst 4 teachers. So the class sizes are pretty small. The kids are, very nice kids. So the people I work with, the other third grade teachers, the fourth grade teachers, and the hallway that I work are fantastic people, and I enjoy spending time with them. So if I ended up, finishing out this school year, it for sure wouldn't be the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And there will be some ups and downs, like any job, any school year in my case. Um, you just hope that there's far more ups than downs, and you don't let the downs, take you too far down to affect your attitude too much. So we'll see how this plays out. As of now, I still have my initial target set on Christmas break in December, and then we'll kind of see how it goes from there. Although I would imagine the district that I work for, and I know them all personally, I know the superintendent personally, most of the board members personally. So if they ask me point blank, to finish out the school year, I would have a hard time saying no, because at the end of the day, everything seems to be going well right now, and the school district that I work for has been, I don't have any complaints. Over the years, I've been treated really, really well. I've never had any significant issues at all, so it would be hard to tell them no. So we'll see how it goes. But I tell you what's really interesting about teaching as a profession is that you do get beat down. I know other people on the outside look at teaching or education and think, well, how hard can it be? You're sitting in a classroom, you're not physically working that, the physical side of it is not terribly difficult. Um, Man, you cannot downplay the mental side of being a teacher, because it does wear on you. And it's been like this since the beginning of my career. I remember even in my younger days, when my initial career started, I'd just gotten out of the Navy. I was in submarine service. And some of our rotation schedules, our duty rotation schedules, were fairly brutal, being up and awake sometimes for 36 hours at a time, every 3 days on 3 section rotations, being out to sea, underwater continuously for months at a time. That would definitely take a physical toll on you. And so I thought when I started teaching, it really wouldn't be that difficult. I thought, this cannot be any more difficult than being in the Navy, being deployed on a submarine. But I was definitely mistaken. I remember the first few weeks as a teacher, I would go home and just, man, my mind would be just a big pile of mush. And I needed to go home and rest and take a nap or something just to recover, because it definitely will put you through the grinder. So mad respect to all the teachers out there. If anybody's watching, you happen to know a teacher, it's just not that easy of a job. Another thing that's kind of different about this is, I've been thinking about a lot about this, is there's definitely, you have these kind of minor victories throughout the day where, you make a connection with the student, or you see a breakthrough, academically and what they're able to do, and that feels really good for them. You see the smile on their face. So, as a teacher, you can appreciate that, and you get a little victory from that. But in a lot of cases, you don't get a sense of gratification until closer to the end of the year, where you see some major strides. And I would contrast that to, some of the hobbies I have. If you watch any of my previous videos, you know that, currently I'm in the process of gathering resources and cutting logs for an off-grid cabin that I want to build. I was hoping to start that this fall and then continue when I retire. So that may be pushed back a little bit, but I've been working on it. Picked up some logs and have been cutting. And what's really unique about this is like every single time I cut a log, there's a really neat sense of satisfaction. You see, a log go from a square imperfect, well, it's a perfect tree, a perfect log, but it's not the perfect building material that I'm looking for. When you saw the sides off of it and you get this square cant, which is what a squared off log is called, it's really uniquely satisfying, and it's really cool to see the final product. And so when I've been getting off work and my brain's kind of mushy, instead of sitting down and kind of relaxing, trying to get my brain recovered, well, I come outside and saw some logs, and as soon as I start that, I don't feel tired. Not physically, not mentally. It's kind of like you rejuvenate yourself by doing something completely different. Well, I think that speaks to the heart of why I want to retire early. Because at this point in my life, 55 years old, be 56 in a couple weeks, I just need that total mental and physical makeover to start, another chapter of my life and break into something um, that I haven't done in a long time. And I haven't built anything since I built my house and some of the structures that I also showed in another video. But I'm really looking forward to this because I definitely have enjoyed this change of pace, back to sawing logs, back to doing something a little more physical. And I can definitely appreciate the opportunity I have to build this cabin. So that being said, I'm going to check out for now. I am, however, going to saw the last two logs of the first set of 34 that I've got. I'll show you what they look like here. So here are the last two logs that I'm getting ready to saw. Some pretty decent sized white pines. So hopefully catch a minor victory today. Some of the slabs that I've cut and stacked, and some slabs that I've cut into smaller pieces. Now these I won't use as firewood. I won't use these as firewood because white pine has a lot of pine pitch in it, and it can definitely wreak havoc on a stovepipe. But I will use them for outside fire pit. Man, when they're burning, they smell wonderful. So I'm kind of looking forward to some cold or cool fall evenings and some campfires outside with some white pine. It'd be a pretty good experience. Go ahead and show you the stack that I've been working on. So not perfectly stacked, not the way I need to stack them in order to dry out for 5 or 6 months, but it's kind of a quicker method of stacking. I'll end up, when I get everything cut, when I get all the logs cut, I'll end up restacking them. I've also got about, I think, 14 or 15 really big logs that I couldn't load onto my trailer with my manual lift. So I'll be sawing those on site, doing a slightly different method. I'll grab some of that on them as well. But I'm going to go ahead and change shoes and get ready to saw these last two so I can pick up another small victory to the day. So I'll see you later. Take care. I would appreciate it if you would hit the like button and subscribe. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, it won't cost you anything. And I would definitely appreciate any growth I can get to the channel. But I'll talk to you later, and thanks again. Bye-bye.